Good morning. Welcome to sunny yet very windy Edinburgh. This morning, as we prepare for today's flight, we're heading from Edinburgh down to London Gatwick in the this is the inaugural live stream for me in the A319ceo. This is the LVFR model. I have been flying it around, having a bit of a practice. I like the handling of it. It does seem to fly much like a shorter A320, which is obviously the intention of LVFR when they created it, but the cockpit is exactly the same as the A321. I don't want to say it's the same as the Asobo A320 because the colourings are a little bit different, but it is more or less the same. So I have already set up the flight. Let's jump in and get things underway. So as you can see, we are at the gate. The jetway is connected and we are ready to push back start and get on our way. So we have a quick look around the cockpit. It's nothing very exciting. It is pretty much exactly the same as the A321 colouring, but it's the same layout as the A320. Of course, this is pretty standard. The A320 family all shares the same cockpit, but this is the CEO, so it's a CEO with a Neo upgrade with larger displays, and there's no steam gauges whatsoever other than our hydraulic gauge here. It's the only analog gauge that we have. It doesn't actually work in the sim anyway, so it doesn't matter. And of course our artificial horizon, which is the backup here, but we don't really use that because I have failures all turned off. So nothing's going to fail, so I won't need to rely on that one at all. But we will use the PFD, of course. Right, so let's bring up the map and let's bring up some meta data. Refresh that. You can see we've got a 24 knot near headwind as we take off from runway 24 in Edinburgh today. Scattered cloud around down to 2,200 feet, but if we look outside, oh no, there is a little bit. Yeah, there is a little bit around out there. The practice runs I've been doing in the live weather, I've had nothing but rain. Not so much the strong winds, but rain. So it has been interesting flying. And I think I've worked out the little nuances of this aircraft as well. We'll have a quick look at the Metar in Gatwick as it stands now. So we are coming in on 26 left, and you can see we will have a bit of a headwind, 11 knots, and a few clouds down to 2,800 feet. 15 degrees centigrade on this beautiful morning in the UK. So let's get I think we actually have already got clearance. I'll just double check that I have. And yes, I have already got clearance, so let's get this bird fired up. Push back to start and underway. So we will start by turning on our beacon lights. I just couldn't find it on my Quadrant there. While I'm talking about the Turtlebeach, Quadrant and Yoke as well, still having the issues where these buttons down here seem to activate themselves just randomly in flight. It's a little bit annoying. Let's get some sleeves up, of course. Let's get serious. Okay, so our beacon light is on. We can turn the batteries on. APU master switch coming on. Wait those 3 seconds and we will start the APU. We'll get our landing lights down and ready to turn on for the takeoff, and we'll just wait for that APU to kick in. So we have got the jetway still connected. Yay, it hasn't sprung back like it usually does in the game. We were at a standard airport. Of course, this is not an add-on airport. I'm just using the standard airport, of course. Okay, APU is fired up, so we'll get the seatbelts on. APU bleed can come on, and we'll turn the external power off. I'm going to disconnect the jetway. Once that is in motion, we'll get our pushback ready. Sorry, our tug ready for pushback. And there it goes. And we will turn the fuel pumps on. And of course we'll put ignition into start, and park brake can come off as well. Once we start pushing out, we'll turn our nav lights on. Actually, I can turn the strobes on to auto because they won't flash until we are wheels up in the air. There we go, there's our pushback commencing. So I have really enjoyed flying this baby bus around. It would be nice if they did the A318 as well, if they're since they're delving into COs, but of course the cockpit should be quite different because there is no Neo version. But I'd still fly it if I had a Neo cockpit. Alrighty, let's get engine number 2 started up. Oh, there it goes. Couldn't hear it inside. And I've been practicing my pushback turns. We'll see if we can get it tonight. So about there. We'll see if we can get that. Oh no, it might have been a little bit too late. Never mind. I realised when I had my hand on the mouse too, I blocked my own webcam. I've repositioned it and for a better view of the controls, but just bear with my arm going across every now and then. It's not too bad of a lineup. We could have started that turn a little bit earlier, but that's okay. So we'll stop it about there. That's not bad, really. It's a little bit off, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, so parking brake can come on. Oh, and we can start engine number 1 as well. There's no hydraulic pump noises in this model either. But I know I can put my flaps to 1 now, and we will arm the speed brake. I will turn on the usual AI ATC. So get that turned on, so we can get our taxi clearance once the engine number 1 has fired up. Just gonna check the Metar again. So 29.901 is our QNH for today, or for departure. The engine noises do sound quite nice in this model too. Right, let's have a look at. We should have our taxi clearance now. We go hold short runway 24 using taxiway. God, I can't remember my NATO alphabet. Echo, Foxtrot, Alpha Delta. Far out. Is it Alpha? Yeah, sure. Why not? Okay, engines are started, so we can put the ignition back into norm. APU can come off, taxi light will come on. We don't really need it, but we'll turn it on, and we'll get the nav lights on as well. Parking brake can come off. Now we're going to taxi this one. You almost need like 45–50% power to keep it moving. It's it's actually doing all right tonight. Maybe it was just in the rain. The sim doesn't really replicate the ground friction all that well. So I've noticed that Edinburgh is a fairly busy airport in the sim too. There's flights coming in all the time, which is great. You can see we're barely moving, 7 knots, and I've got the engines, oh, I suppose it's just over 30%, that's all right. Might just turn some brightness up on these displays though. That's better. You can see them now. Well, there's nothing coming in. There was a plane that just landed. Nothing coming in at the moment. It was, while I was setting up, there was 5 or 6 will come in one after the other. It was quite spectacular. And one even taxied to the terminal. You can see him parked right there, Mr. Zanosia, or Mr. or Mrs. So it was quite nice to see someone playing the game properly, shall we say. I understand why people come in and land and then just cancel out of the game because, well, they've done all the exciting parts. God, that wind is definitely there. I can. It's just shifting me ever so slightly to the left as I taxi. Might just drop my power just a little bit, otherwise we will. It will not take off, but it will. It'll overspeed on us on the ground. I don't know what I'm trying to say. So flight time today is around just a little over an hour. I think an hour and 5 minutes. Oh, actually, while I'm taxiing around using my rudders on the controllers, the Turtlebeach rudder pedals have finally gone on to pre-order for in Australia, but I'm not going to get them straight away because they are $449. That's $30 less than what I paid for the entire yoke and quad. And yes, it will give me dynamic braking. Yes, it will give me better rudder control. But it's $449 that I just don't want to spend right now. I've spent a little bit of money on the stream setup, bought a new monitor and whatnot. So the rudder pedals are just gonna have to wait. I can live without them for a little bit longer. Alrighty, so the slow taxiing is obviously only in the rain because that wasn't bad. Whoops. Also the braking on this, yeah, you see that if I just touch the brakes, the whole nose just dips. Another reason why I actually really do want to get the pedals with the dynamic braking. But we'll just have to wait. That was a beautiful turn, by the way, just have to say so myself. Is there anything coming in? Nothing coming in. We'll just do a bit of a stop here. I'll try not to bounce it. We're going to, yeah. Clear for takeoff, Speedbird 553 QH29.901, wind 251 at 24, Metar showing 250 at 24, so it's pretty accurate. We will have a headwind slightly off to the right side of the aircraft, but we are clear for takeoff, so let's go. We will turn, the landing lights will come on. Better not taxi out at near 45%. But I will put the auto brake onto max now as well. Seatbelt's already on. We're all good to go. Flaps are at 1, spoilers are armed. We'll get into our takeoff view. Oh, my frame rate's just jittering a little bit tonight. Well, tonight my time. Okay, so lined up, so push the nose down a little bit, we'll get up to 50% or thereabouts. And it's going to drift us to the right. 60% stable, up to flex. Hey, I'm having to give it a shit ton of right rudder. Oh crap, hopefully this does not tip like the A321 does. I haven't flown this this baby bus in strong winds yet. This will be the first time, but there we go, there's oh, straight up, far out. Yeah, it's strong wind all right, and gear up. It's not skyrocketed. And we can even lose that flap already too. Might just drop the nose a little bit because we are going to stall otherwise. And let's not smash into that generic coming towards us either. See if we can get under them. Okay, leave it to climb, and we're going to put the autopilot on as well. Not much of a deviation once the autopilot come on, so that is a good sign of a good takeoff. Maybe I was space shuttling it just a little bit, but we will disarm the spoiler, and we're climbing to 6,000 as our first altitude. So she's not bad looking little baby bus. And I'm flying with the BEA retro livery in this one tonight. I was going to do the standard British Airways livery, but forgot that I had this and thought, yeah, why not? Let's fly a retro. Okay, so Ryanair 6656 is actually now climbing. Oh, you've taken off? Oh, I didn't realise you'd taken off from Edinburgh. Oh, cool. We're coming up to 6,000, so it should give us our next. Oh, it was 8,000. Oh, sorry, it's 8,000, not 6,000. Getting that all wrong. Those engines sound so good. They sound like the A320ceos in real life. Okay, coming up to 8,000 now. So what is our next altitude? Is 190. Oh, actually, while I'm there, because they've it automatically gave us a cruising altitude of 370. It's just a bit too high for the distance we're travelling, so I'm going to request a decrease by 4,000. There we go. So 330 will be our cruise altitude. It's not the best climber, this aircraft, so I think 330 is more than ample. Okay, there's 10,000, so we can lose the landing lights. So far, so good. But yeah, you can see our climb just dropped. We're now climbing at 1,700 feet per minute as we wind up to 320 knots. See how busy it is around the area. Whoa, whoa, there's a few around. Very, very popular time to be flying across the United Kingdom. As in time of day, not specific date. Bit bumpy as we come up. We've got a crosswind, near 50 knot wind hitting directly on the right side of the aircraft too, so it will throw us around just a little bit. Is my rudder sitting funny? It's just the light. It's just the light. Okay, cool. Get a closer look at this livery. It's really nice. I think they did a pretty good job of it. And actually the aircraft itself, the modelling is not bad at all. I mean, this is not study level, not even close to study level. This is for entertainment only. No, I think LVFR did quite a nice job on the modelling. I can't see any random weird lines in the paintwork. Do you know I didn't turn on? Oh no, I did turn on my strobes, yeah. Are they going? Oh, I just found an error. You can see the light where my mouse is. You can see the light is outside of where it should be until I zoom out. Oh no, it's, yeah, that's, okay, I didn't notice that before. That's fine, we can live with that. But yeah, it looks really, really good. Apart from this weird matte sort of surfacing down here, it's sort of patchy. But no, I think they did an all right job with it. Okay, coming up to 180, so we will go to standard. I mean, it's 0.01 difference, but we'll still put it in standard. And we're also coming to 190 as well, so we'll see what our next altitude readout is meant to be. I mean, even though I've just got it automatically to climb up to 330. go 290, and then our next one will be 330. So as you can see on the navigation display, we are less than 320 miles away from Gatwick. There is a bit of a dogleg to come out and around, come back, and then line up on ILS. So it is a little more than 320 miles away, but still, I think 330 is plenty high enough for this distance. It is a weird thing about this aircraft is in the sim, it wants you to go to the highest altitude you can. So even if you select low, it will take you up to 390 feet. Sorry, flight level 390, which I find a bit strange. So I have found that I've got to I decide on what the altitude is going to be, and then just ask for a decrease on each flight. Unless I'm flying for like an hour and a half minimum, then we'll go 390. So I did look up. I didn't know if BA had the A319 in their fleet, and it seems that they do. I thought I had the page actually open on the iPad. Let's find it again. Spelled fleet wrong. So, no, I don't want Wikipedia. I want plane spotters. So while we're climbing to 290, let's bring up their fleet info. So, A319, they have 22 in service and 8 parked, according to this. When was this updated? This was oh my god, this was updated. Give me an update. 6th of October. What? That's today. Huh, okay. It was updated today, apparently. 6th of October is my time. Actually, it will be 6th of October is UTC also. But yeah, so they have 22 with 8 parked. They've still got the A380 and the Concorde listed, and the ADRs. Okay, but they are historic. It's a sort of a bit of a weird table, because they also have the fleet history below. Oh, I forgot historic. Ah, okay, I see. But yeah, so they definitely do fly these. I imagine they would fly these between Edinburgh and London. Probably more Heathrow than Gatwick. Maybe, I'm not sure. Maybe you guys can tell me in the comments if you're watching this on the replay, if you know if BA fly the A319 between London and Edinburgh. It'd be interesting to know. I mean, I probably could look it up, but can't be bothered. So yeah, so as you can see, the climb has definitely diminished. So we're only climbing at 1,400 feet per minute. Once we hit max speed, which is very soon, we will climb a little bit quicker because our speed in knots will start dropping, and the aircraft will start climbing to maintain that speed. But yeah, it sort of climbs a lot like the CFM A321 does, just really terribly. And I've got both what have I got? What have I got? I've got both the CFM and IAE engine variants, and they're both pretty much the same. This one here is the IAE engine variant, and but yeah, they both perform exactly the same way. Okay, so there's max speed there. So yeah, our climb rate has accelerated a little bit. So we're at 1,900 feet per minute climb. And this is why I chose 330, flight level 330, because we just would not get up to 370 before we have to start descending again. And this way we can cruise level for a little bit longer. coming up to 290. It should tell us to go to 330. That'll be cruise altitude. We go 330, that's our final cruise altitude. And there is an aircraft. Right, you're right in front of us. Much higher than we are. Oh no, that's right here below us. That's what I could see on the map. And that 737 that was parked up in Edinburgh is still showing up. So there's a bit of traffic around. There's another one over there. Busy in the skies today. All of a sudden there's three that have appeared in front of us. Which direction are you going, guys? All heading towards us. But they'll be well above our altitude, I would imagine. So the wind in Gatwick has picked up a bit, and it's now 11 knots. It was 10 before. Still more or less a headwind, which is fine. Traffic in sight. Have the traffic. And so United Airlines about to go above us as well. There we go, reaching flight level 330. She's looking good. Excellent, let's get some seatbelts off. Oops, I've pressed the right button. Of course, passengers are free to walk around the cabin. And while we are cruising along, I'm going to have a 5-minute break very, very soon. But before I do that, I am going to bring up information about the next live stream, which will be this coming Sunday morning at my time. It's 2100 Universal Standard Time. But let's just bring up the title card, if I can find it. I'll just bring it up on the iPad. So we are. So that, oh, that's the current one. So the next one will be the debut for me of flying the Braddock 3D 737 MAX 8. So this is an aircraft in the sim that many YouTubers have called a scam, probably because they downloaded it on the first day. So that would have been version 1.0, I imagine. It's up to version 1.7 now, and it's very flyable. It has got a few sort of weird settings in it that you have to figure out. It's not standard whatsoever. This is probably further away from study level than the aircraft you get with the standard version of flights in 2020. But I've enjoyed flying it around. And just getting used to how different a Boeing is from an Airbus. Yeah, so I thought, screw it, I'm ready to live stream it. We'll be going from Los Angeles up to San Francisco, so just about an hour and 15-minute long flight in the 737. Has got a weird thing where you're coming in to descend on final, and for some reason it just will not get down to altitude. easily. It appears to be, but it's definitely not. So I've had to figure that out and yeah, get down to on final much earlier than you would in the Airbus. So I think that's just the modelling of the aircraft in the sim. I don't think that's in real life. Interesting to note too, the MCAS system you cannot turn off in this model. Which I would assume that they've done on purpose because it's probably not actually operating anyway. And but of course, as we know, the Lion Air and who was the other one? Was it Nigerian aircraft that crashed? Was due to MCAS issues. So I hope that's not a sick inside joke. I hope that's just because they haven't modelled the MCAS. And then the next flight will be, we're doing London Gatwick again, but we're going from it as a departure point up to Aberdeen in Scotland. And again, that's in the A319, this time flying in the EasyJet. And they use the CFM engines, so different to what we're flying tonight. And then finally, I think the next one I've scheduled is we're back in the A320neo in Australia, again Sunday morning, and we'll be flying from Brisbane up to Longreach. And Longreach is where the Qantas Founders Museum is, and they have modelled that in the sim. So we'll do a bit of a fly around of the Longreach, the Qantas Founders Museum in Longreach at the end of that flight as well. So keep an eye out for that one, and that will be. I think that will be the first time I do an RNAV landing or an RNAV approach on live stream on YouTube. And very, very similar to ILS, but you just have, there's a lot more to do closer to the runway itself, so can be a little more nerve-wracking doing an RNAV approach. Anyway, that is what is coming up. While we're doing this cruise, let's just check out ETAs. ETA is 11:36, is currently 11:01. It's another 35 minutes until we're on the ground. I'm going to just take a quick 5-minute break, check some messages and whatnot, but I will be right back with you. I'm back. Didn't turn any music on while I was away, but that's fine. You had the sound of those beautiful IAE engines for a little bit. So we're now 160 miles away from, well, it's not really from our destination because we have got a bit of a cluster to navigate around. Now the navigation will fail because it has every single time I've flown this route. So we'll have to do a bit of manual adjustment on the autopilot controls up here, but that's pretty easy to do. Also, I've noticed it's a bit of a fuel guzzler, this one. It might be modelled more accurately to, oh, actually no, it wouldn't be, because we did start with just over 6 tonne and now we've only got 4.8 tonne. So it's not really accurate fuel burn to real life from what I understand. But it does burn it a little bit faster than the A320 and the A321 does, so I have to sort of guesstimate the fuel a little bit differently. There's no science to how I estimate the fuel. I just guess and hope to land with a couple of tonnes left in the tanks. I know there is a proper way to do it. You're supposed to have contingency fuel and all sorts of things, but I'm not a pilot. So if I run out of fuel, well, I can just go in and add more in mid-air. F-35 at minus 500. Oh no, he's gone up again. Oh, there's a company in front of us, British Airways 285, or Speedbird 285, coming in fast from Heathrow. And descending. Wow, that was close. I bet we got a... Did we? Yeah, definitely did. Since I've been playing this, or flying this, I've only ever had one aircraft come straight through me in cruise. So that's, and I've flown over 1,000 hours in airliners, so that's pretty good odds that I have only had one head-on collision. Of course, the ATC doesn't give you enough warning, and it doesn't show up on the TCAS either, which is interesting. Excuse me, I'm really thirsty tonight. I'm downing the iced coffee and the water like there's no tomorrow. So we should get instruction to descend once this cluster is below 80. If we don't, I'm going to manually request it. I have had to manually request descent most times I've flown this route. I have flown it quite a few times because I just really wanted to get the landings right for a change. I want October to be a better month for landings than September was, but I will still do a landing compilation video at the end of the month. I might do a takeoff one as well. It's a lot of time to do the editing, and takeoffs are not really that exciting at all. I was going to edit each replay down to just the takeoffs and landings, but well, there's another going right beneath us. Another one from Heathrow, company aircraft. Whoa! Barely 1,000 feet separation right there. In fact, what altitude did they say they were at? That's 320, so they're 1,000 foot separation. Wow. Busy in the skies this morning. My park brake has come on. I bet my, oh no, so the park brake's come on. I bet my lights are all up the fuck as well. There they are, my beacon's gone off. My nav lights have gone off. And the strobe's gone to on. We want it on auto. Didn't do anything else. No, I had my landing gear go down mid-flight last night as well while I was flying in the 737. So again, I've heard nothing back from Turtlebeach if there is a fix for this. Thankfully, nothing that I've got bound is going to crash the plane. It doesn't activate approach for some reason, even though that's definitely bound to one of the buttons. But it does arm the spoilers every now and then. These are slow down to 242 knots, but I'm not going to turn on the ATC window just yet. I'll just leave that off for a little bit longer until we're closer to 80 miles away from that cluster. But it is slowing us down because the simulator thinks we are 120 miles away when we're not. We're probably closer to 160 still. I probably could reprogram that so it doesn't slow down so early, but I'm fine with it. I will just check if ATC is actually talking to us though. It's not. Yeah, it's not giving us instruction to descend just yet. Oh, that reminds me too. Someone has subscribed while we're streaming. Not sure if an alert came up. I don't think I have got my alerts activated properly in OBS Studio. I did have them and I was testing and they were fine, but I think they've dropped out again. So that's something I need to look at this weekend, is getting that all sorted, because if you subscribe during a live stream, I really do want that alert to come up. Make you feel special, and a bit of a thank you for subscribing as well. Definitely appreciate it. Not really going to push for subscribers and tell everyone to subscribe, even though I've just used the word subscribe probably about half a dozen times in the last 24 seconds. But if you want to subscribe, you're definitely more than welcome to. You'll be alerted to when I go live, which is Thursday evenings, which is tonight's stream, and Sunday mornings, both Australian Eastern Standard Time. But I do advertise the universal time, and I try and get the local time correct. I do know that the Northern Hemisphere is about to go through daylight saving end, so times will change. We've just had our start down here in Australia, not where I live though. We don't recognise daylight savings because the state I'm in is Queensland, and it goes all the way to the tip off the top of the country. So daylight saving is no good for anyone in the north. So we don't have it down where I am either, which is fine. I'd rather not have to remember to put clocks back and forth. When I lived in New Zealand, I always forgot and was always either early or late for things following the daylight save change weekend. So quite happy we don't have it here. But it is a bit of a pain because I've got family in New Zealand. It means they are 3 hours ahead of us. So if I want to call the mother, I have to keep in mind that 6 p.m. is 9 p.m. for her. And it's weird because Sydney and Melbourne, which is south of Brisbane, but it's on the same, it's on the same, is that latitude, line, longitude? It's the same. They're both more or less directly south of Brisbane. So it should be the same time zone, but they recognise, or they have daylight saving, so they become an hour ahead of where I am. And there's also in the Queensland border intersects Queensland and New South Wales through the middle of a street down, but just below the Gold Coast, and so there is a street in Australia where you can have an hour's time difference just by crossing the road. And of course, the people who, it depends where they work rather than where they live, of what time zone they adhere to. Anyway, let's have a look at ATC. It's still not telling us to descend. I will request that fairly soon. Otherwise, we will be far too high when we're coming into Gatwick. There's another aircraft going to cross beneath us. Can't see what it is yet. It's not the Cessna. That seems to be stationary. Possibly up on top of a hill at 519 feet or paused in game. But there is another aircraft right there. Is it going to tell us what it is? Might be too far away. While we're doing that, I'm just going to check ATC again. No, still hasn't given us instruction to descend yet. We can't see what that aircraft is. No, we're not going to either. Okay. So let's have a look. So 80... It's about 130 miles away. No, we're not. That's not 50. I can't do math. We're about 110 miles away. Far out. So we will start to descend our descent soon. That wasn't for us. Let it come down a little bit more. See if that... Oh, it was company. British Airways 295. Flying very low. Still no instruction to descend. I'm going to request it soon. Okay, let's request 10,000 feet down. Descend and maintain 230, we can do that. So let it naturally take us down, and then we're going to descend at 1800 feet per minute. Once it drops down close to it, it will jump up again as it adjusts speed and engine thrust. There we go. So let's set that to 1800 feet down. So you'll see our speed will climb just a little bit, so we're up to 248-ish knots, but that will settle as the engines settle. As you can see, they are dropping down now, so they'll go down to idle. This aircraft does not like descending any quicker than about 1800 feet. I mean, you can get away with 2000 feet, but it just speeds up. Not rapidly, but quick enough. So this is why I've requested descent earlier than the game would usually give us. So giving us, still hasn't told us to descend yet. So I found on the Airbus, in all three of them actually, the 2120 and 19, 1800 feet descent will give you close to the rule of three. So if you're 10,000 feet in height, you want to be no less than 30 miles away from destination. So yeah, 1800 feet seems to be the magic number. Of course, as you get closer, you want to be doing a lot. You want to be descending a lot slower. So maybe down to 1200 feet maximum on approach, and then the ILS will make that decision for you once you have hit approach. But yeah, 1800 feet seems to be the magic number if you get your descent starting early enough. So just looking at that, we're 60, 80, maybe 90 miles away. That's if we follow the absolute navigation, which we won't, because it will fail as we get closer. And but I think we are at a good altitude. And I think I do have to, from memory, I think I have to request another decrease following this one, because it still won't descend us. It still hasn't said anything. Of course, once it picks up our approach, I won't be able to request an altitude increase or decrease, and might just have to just key it in anyway and see what happens. It'll tell us to expedite this and expedite that. For some reason, it takes you down to 4,000 and then tries to make you climb to 16,000 when you're only 10 miles away from the runway, which is just not going to happen. Does it on the way up to Edinburgh as well. It's just this route for some reason. Really weird. We will do a quick check on the weather in Gatwick. So that wind has shifted, has dropped. So now it's only 10 knots, before it was 11. But it has shifted, it's now 230. So it's not quite as much of a headwind as it previously was. But I'm sure that will still be fine. So approaching, oh no, not quite down to 230 yet. We'll see if ATC is saying anything. It's not. It is ignoring us. Come on, this is the flag airline for this country, and ATC is just pretending we don't exist. See if it's saying anything now. Are you saying anything to us? No. Well, I am going to request another 10,000 feet down. See, it's not arguing with me. It's not telling me, oh, here we go, descend and maintain 16,000 feet. Okay, cool. So we are now on actual descent. We'll keep going at 1,800 feet per minute down. Something just clicked. I just heard a click inside the aircraft. Was that my lights? Nope, they all look fine. The parking brake didn't come on. Okay, I'm imagining things. I guess I'm just wary of these buttons activating themselves. So just thinking, the beauty of the navigation failing is if we are too high, I can actually adjust our course a little bit and probably take it out a little bit wider. So from Bizru up to Timber, make that arc a little bit longer so we can descend without having to do a loop and come down, because once you see how it's got 15,500 there and it's got 16,800 there. If we get down below 16,000 at Bizru, it'll try and take us up to 16,000 at Timber. And then, as you can see, it's less than 10 miles between Timber and May. There's no way you can descend 12,000 feet in 10 miles unless you're nosediving into the ground, which is not ideal for the passengers at all. They will not appreciate that one bit. In fact, the aircraft won't appreciate it either. It shouldn't really allow you to do that. Definitely won't while it's on autopilot. What was that? Just hit an air pocket and dropped. That was cool. But we are below 20,000, so I'm going to put the seatbelt sign to on. And then we'll adjust our QNH. QNH 30.42, so quite a bit different to the 29091 we had in Edinburgh. So much higher pressure down here in London. That will be our navigation failing. So we're turning to the right. Oh, let's see what it does. Yeah, no, it just failed. See how that line disappeared and it turned us to the right? Let's get us back to the left. If you do play the sim, there's something to watch out for, especially over the European approaches, where the navigation will just fail randomly and the aircraft will just vector towards the airport, which of course is not ideal because you can't land on a runway from the side of it. You have to land from either approach end, but you can just simply activate your heading and change around. One thing to note when you are on your heading, you can't use auto descend. You have to set your vertical speed. You cannot let the flight computer manage that for you. Anyway, we will go to a QNH which is 3039. According to Meta, that will change. See if ATC is talking to us. Still saying 16,000, okay. This might just bring us in a little bit. We have got a, that 50 knot crosswind is still hitting the right side of the aircraft, so it's not blowing us off course, but we are still having to side skim to stay on course, but I'll see if I can get us back around to being in the correct approach. I'm just following, basically just following the waypoints down here. You can see that is our heading, and that is our actual, the way the aircraft's pointed, but we are flying, so we are skimming sideways to come up this way here. Still says 160. Yep, now speed's going down to 202 knots. So one thing the A321 doesn't do, it doesn't give you a final approach speed automatically. So you have to manually do that. And don't even get me started on the Bredox 737 Max, because yeah, you just have to manually do your speeds. Otherwise, it'll try and zero it right out and you'll stall. Okay, has ATC said anything more? God, there's a lot of traffic. Descend and maintain 13,000 feet. We can do. We'll just, again, keep it on 1,800 feet down for now. God, that dropped our nose like a stone just then. We will vector in a little bit more towards where we're supposed to be going. Otherwise we're going to come out too wide. We are speeding up just a little bit, but I'm not concerned. I will be if it goes above 222 knots, but we'll just leave it be. It looks like it is settling though. Airbus. I wonder if that's the A319. Can we see from here? Well, it might be. I don't know who SEH is. Let's see if we can find them. They are not on my list. One good thing with the London VFR aircraft is you do get a crap ton of liveries. So with the A319, I do have, because I've got a count here, 48 liveries across a few airlines. Some airlines you get 3 or 4 liveries with, which is really, really cool. Okay, let's change our heading to Timber. Timber is our actually our approach waypoint. Is it giving us another? I'm just ignoring ATC really, aren't I? Oops, did it give us another? Oh, there we go. Expedite your descent to 4,000, whatever. We've got plenty of time. More than 30 miles away. Just bring us closer to Timber. UK doesn't look overly interesting from the sky, but they do have those beautiful rolling green fields all through it. Not a very hilly or mountainous nation. Of course, that makes it ideal for airports with big long runways. I'm actually going to go a little bit wide on this one because we are just a little bit higher than we should have been, but that's because I was not paying attention. But that's pretty much 10,000 feet, so landing lights can come on. And actually while we're here, we will arm the spoilers as well. Might as well get them armed and ready. I'm not going to use them between now and landing. Now I'm going to slow our descent down to 1,500 feet per minute because we are our speed is just creeping up just a little bit. So we'll see if we can drop that back down to 202 knots. Because we'll start putting out flaps reasonably soon. There's an aircraft right next to us. Where are you? Above us? Yes, you're way above us. I can't even see who you are. So once May disappears off the nav display, I will swing us around. The final approach altitude for Gatwick is 2,000 feet. So we've got 6,000 to go roundabout, but we've got plenty of distance to get there. Okay, let's swing us 90 degrees. We'll go to heading 319. And my park brake just come on, my lights just all went weird again. Landing light, oh no, landing lights should be on. Oh, it messed up my those lights. So annoying. Makes it very hard to fly. Okay, we haven't really come down low enough just yet. But we've got 15 miles until we have to be at 2,000 with plenty. We've got plenty of time, but we'll get us lined up back onto our approach line. A little bit more. Once we're 10 away from the turn, we will start putting the flaps out as well. Now if I put it back into auto nav, is it going to... No, it's going to turn us that way, yeah. So even though the line's there, it's still wanting to take us direct to Gatwick, so I'm going to have to manually vector us around for the remainder until we are on final approach by the looks of it. A little bit annoying, but it's not hard to get around. So almost at 4,000 already, which is great. Is it telling us to go down to 2,000 yet? Yeah, there we go. Descend and maintain 2,000. So we will slowly do that. At we'll keep it at 1,500 feet per minute now, but that is our final approach speed. 10 away from the turn, so we are going to go flaps to 1. And that should get our speed down a little bit as well. Might actually decrease our descent to 1,200 feet per minute for the final 2,000 feet. So Gatwick does sit 202 feet above sea level, so we have to keep that in mind as well. So at the moment we are 3,800 feet above the ground. Might just drop that brightness on the nav, just so I can see that's a bit better.
2,500.
Thank you. We'll go flaps to 2. We are dropping just a little bit too quick. We want to get that back up to 1,200 feet per minute. Might line us up a little bit better too. Okay, so descent rate, I'm going to change it to 800 feet per minute because we are coming down just a little bit too quick. I said 800, not 900. Thank you. And we're also going to go flaps to 3 as well, just to slow us down just a little bit more. I wonder if we've got landing clearance just yet. No, not quite. We will soon. So we've come down pretty low, a little too quickly. But too low too soon is a bit better for landing. It's better than being too high. So we'll just start a bit of a turn in. I'm going to activate the ILS now and see where we're at. Yeah, we've got plenty. The diamonds have not even appeared yet. Just check that our flaps, sorry, our speed brake is still armed. It is. Oh, we need to be turning. Might as well line it up for final. Runway is inside. So I've turned the auto heading back on because we should now be right to get lined up on ILS. And we should have landing clearance by now too, actually. Looks like we have. Cleared to land. What's our QNH? Does it give us a QNH? I don't remember seeing one. 3039. Oh, so it's accurate. Okay, so we'll get the locator on and we will go into landing view. I'm going to put the gear down now. Three in the green. We'll get the auto brake set to medium, and we can put that back onto there. Just waiting for the diameter to start dropping down. Looks like there's a 747-8 way in the distance descending. This is the one thing I hate about having a 2,000 foot approach is it takes ages. Like you're sitting at 2,000 for a long time waiting for that diamond to drop. And I definitely did miscalculate fuel. We still have 4 ton on board, which I suppose is okay. It's safe for landing. Alrighty, let's activate approach now. Once we start dropping, we will change our, we'll enter our go around altitude, which will be 5,000 feet. And we'll go final flaps at 1,000. So the wind has picked up by a knot. It's now, the wind is at 11 knots, but we are getting thrown around just a little bit. I'm going to drop that final flap, so flaps to full, and it's going to just drop us a little bit. I'll let ILS pull us down a little bit more because, yeah, she's a bit rough. I was really hoping for a decent landing, but I'm going to let the ILS do the heavy work for a little bit longer until below 500, I think. Usually I'd deactivate autopilot at 1000, but not for this approach. Okay, so we'll turn autopilot can come off, and I'll just get her line back up. Probably a little bit too high up. There we go. So it is looking good-ish.
300.
Here we are, coming in too low. Get up a little bit more.
200.
Oops, and we're deviating off to the right. Let's get her a bit line back up.
100. 60. 50.
I'll drop power now.
30.
Come on.
20. Retard.
Oh, I probably dropped power a little bit too soon. Oh, and I just slammed my brakes on as well. That's all fine. We're going to have a short field landing. Got a habit of putting my brakes on and not letting the auto brake do its thing. That's okay. It was all right. We did drop a little bit in the end. I dropped power probably a little bit too soon. Let's just motor down. Sorry, Easy 8990. I know this is your home base and you are waiting for BA to get the fuck off the runway. I'll take this exit here. Landing lights can come off. Take the turn. It's probably, ATC's probably screaming at me, get off the runway, get off the runway. go. So we're going to tune ground, and whoa, someone just had to go around too. Ha, suck shit. Okay, I'm just going to stop us here. We'll drop that power, get the parking brake on, because we'll just adjust some things. Oh, and hold position. Yeah, I know there's someone on final. Cool, so that can go back down to 29902. We will get the APU kicked in. Oh, I turned the landing lights back on. I meant to turn them off. So they can come off. Strobe can come off. Start the APU. And was there someone coming in? Oh, I'm way off the side. They are a million miles away, so I'm actually going to power forward. What is our taxi? Where are you? Where are you? Tango, Juliet, Romeo. I forget what B is. Quebec something, and then Quebec. Let's see if I can remember that. Wasn't someone coming in, was there? Oh, freaking Norwegian, they're miles away. Norwegian 1340, there is plenty of time for me to get off the runway. Where is our tech? There it is. So we take Tango, which is this one. Probably going a little bit quick. Tango, Juliet. I assume this is Juliet. I can't see anything on the signs. That's why I usually use the blue arrows to do my taxiing. But pretty sure this is Juliet. I don't know where Romeo is. It might be further up. Might be a left turn coming up on the dark asphalt. So what are we on? We are on Juliet. Got it right. And then, oh yeah, Romeo. What the hell is... I had a list of the NATO alphabet and I can't find it on the iPad now. Ah, there's some signs we can actually see. Oh, so Romeo is the next left turn. Cool. Making that turn just a little bit too quick. So what's that? Kilo? Is Quebec further up? Where is this taking us? Oh yeah, Quebec is way further up. Okay. Interesting, because usually I'll be taxiing down there and parking there, but not today. It's taking us around the back. So Quebec is a right turn. It's our speed, 13 knots, okay. Okay, we've got 2 Quebecs. I'm going to have to put it blue. Oh, it's not letting me. Oh, there it is. I just have no idea where we're meant to go from here. Because we can turn left or right for Quebec. Okay, we're turning left. Okay. Ah, I can see our gate from here. I can turn that off now because I know exactly where I'm going. Oh yeah, there's QB. I forget what B is. It's not beta. Is it beta? No, it can't be. If I ever get a PC and start doing VATSIM flights, I really better learn my NATO alphabet. Where is the turn? Oh, there isn't one. We're just gonna... Oh, there it is. There's the marker. Far out. Hey, my right rudder just... Come on. My right rudder just, It's... What the fuck? My right rudder just failed. Excellent. I think I was lined up and then my right rudder just decided to stop working, or the right rudder trigger anyway. I hope there is not a problem with this hardware. There's nothing in stock, so I can't get a replacement anytime soon. I'll send it off and get nothing back for months. Okay, I'm going to go outside view for the final. I don't trust the marshal, they always put you too far forward. Ah, and then my brakes, god damn it. Go on, go forward, go forward. You're not there yet. That'll do. Alrighty, so engines 1 and 2 can come off. Yeah, you can bugger off. I'm not going any further forward. APU bleed, we better turn that on. We'll turn the taxi lights off, nav and beacon. And because our jetway didn't come up on its own, let's request a jetway connection. I said request a jetway connection, thank you. While we're waiting for that, engine 1 bleed, engine 2 bleed, generator 1, generator 2. Fuel pumps can come off as well. There is the jetway connecting. That's annoying. Doesn't do that in the Boeing. Power is available, so we'll turn that on. Seatbelt signs can come off as well, and we better get the batteries off, and we can turn off the APU since we're not really using it now that we're connected to ground power. All right, so we are here in Gatwick, and there is don't know how that's going to work. There's a bit of a leap, but that is also a sealed jetway. Never mind. This is sunny Gatwick. Always busy, and you see a lot of people fly a Shadow 87X. I've seen you fly quite a few times, but not usually in the MiG. Anyway, you can see JetBlue's here. Does JetBlue fly to Gatwick? I do know they do transatlantic, but I don't know if they go into Gatwick. Anyway, you see a lot of EasyJet. This is EasyJet's home base in real life. But I decided I would fly BA today. But that has been our flight today, so thank you very much for watching. If you're watching us on the replay, or if you did tune in live, it's much appreciated. Again, I'd just like to say that we do stream, or sorry, not we, I stream twice a week, so Thursday nights, Sunday mornings, Australian Eastern Standard Time. But if you check out the schedule, you'll see the next upcoming flight, which is actually going to be, I can bring it up, there it is. So it will be Los Angeles to San Francisco in the Bredok 3D 737 MAX. There is another plane coming in beside me. They're very loud. You can probably hear that in the background because I've still got the capture card sound going. Anyway, yeah, we are flying from Los Angeles to San Francisco. So that's 2100 UTC on the 9th of October. So 9th of the 10th for me is 9th of October. So it'll be 10/09/2022 for those in the Americas. That is a 3 p.m. departure from Los Angeles. So tune in if you want to see me maybe successfully fly the 737, maybe with a not so rough landing as we did in the A319 tonight, this morning. It's really